bright yellow machine. It's the perfect looking car. The shape of the car is delicious. The driver's delicious. Don't tell Chris I said that though. Then we got Gerhard Fuller in 7th position. Apparently I'm delicious, I'm being told in my ear as well, which is great news. Here's your front row then officially. Rudolf Schollhorn and Stefan Mucker. Oh, are they going to proper race? I hope so. Ronnie Shear then and Bruno Spengler. We've seen them proper race already this season. It was spectacular at Spa. Well, will it be hellacious at Hockenheim? Who knows? Anton Werner and Chris Nissen then are your 3rd row. We then got Gerhard Fuller and Moritz Horn on your 4th row. Again, too quick for me to read. We then got Reich and Nico Wittmann, who is indeed brother of Marco Wittmann, who is in DTM, of course, double champion. Rene Rook then, Thomas Wandel are in 11th and 12th. Olaf Manti and Michael Schneider are indeed 13th and 14th position. Torsten Horn, Peter Zimmermann are 15th and 16th. Zimmermann with the best number in racing, number 88. Matthaus Rass is in 17th with Albrecht Kamenzin in 18th, and then Christian Schneider in the BMW 325i is down in 19th position. Bretzel, anybody? Absolutely. I wish I could. Unfortunately, it gives me bad heartburn, and I can't commentate with heartburn. I will be on that bull later on, that's for sure. Not sure the bull will enjoy it, though. But we're here, we're ready to go racing. Will someone grab the bull by the horns in this race? I'm here all week. So we're heading then through the S's towards the end of the 2nd sector here at Hockenheim. And before we head into race time. Many old DTM cars racing. Many old, not so old, DTM ex-drivers racing as well. Should prove to be an absolute spectacle here at Hockenheim. Buckle in, ladies and gentlemen, because this will be a classic. Because they're all classic cars. Still plenty of people in the stands as well. Loads of people here today. I cannot believe how busy it is, actually. Could not move earlier on. And it's Saturday, so Sunday tomorrow is going to be incredible. So if you are in the local area, you should absolutely look to buy a ticket. Tomorrow is going to be absolutely spectacular. Of course, DTM separated by 2 points to 2 leaders. DTM trophy's always good. And well, you've got the DTM Classics as well for their race number 2. Here we go then. About to come around that final corner. It is indeed Schollhorn and indeed Stefan Mucker on the front row. The 2 Class 1 cars waiting for those green lights. And there is the green lights, and they both go put pedal to the metal. I'll tell you what, Ronnie Shear's got the quickest car in a straight line. Up towards turn number 1 we will go. But then that's where the Sierra unfortunately loses out, because the Sierra does not like corners at all. Stefan Mucker having a look round the outside there potentially. As off the circuit we go, that might be Wittmann actually in the background. Yeah, Stefan Mucker definitely had a look there at Schollhorn. Didn't quite make it work there. Chris Nissen and Bruno Spengler were going side by side there as well. Both ex-DTM drivers side by side. Love to see it as the Calibra and indeed the C-Class Mercedes both disappear up the road, and they probably won't be seen again for the rest of this race. As you can see in the background, battling for a top 4, it is Chris Nissen who makes the move round the outside. Bruno Spengler maybe going to look to make a move up the inside. Under braking as Gerhard Fuller locks up all 4 wheels by the looks of things. Nearly cleans out the back of Bruno Spengler, and he would have been off the birthday and Christmas card list, that's for sure, if there was any contact. Probably from everybody in Hockenheim. Luckily, Bruno Spengler's all good. And, well, Gerhard Fuller already back making overtakes here. He's gone past Nico Wittmann, so it wasn't Wittmann that ran off the circuit there. It might have been Schneider, actually, the number 100. So see there, Moritz Horn in the Alpina, the next victim for the Vectra. Gerhard Fuller, a winner at the Norris Ring as well. Overall winner. It wasn't just a class win, it was an overall win as well. As Bruno Spengler then sending that STW into that final sector. There's a mistake there from Chris Nissen, and that is an absolute freebie. So that's for P4. Off to maybe chase down Ronnie Shear, but we know how quick Ronnie Shear is. Ronnie Shear is very fast, but this part of the circuit should be the BMW's playground. The lead then around about 4 seconds as we come across the line, maybe a little bit more than that actually. It's about 3.9 seconds between Schollhorn and Mucker, and then we've got Ronnie Shear in P3, Bruno Spengler in P4, and we know he's going to get faster as this race goes on once he gets used to the car. But let's check out this race start then. Schollhorn, of course, in the 2008 Mercedes DTM C-Class, And then you've got around the outside there the Calibre that's been testing out Oschersleben, so should be very much a lot faster here. They know the limits of the car. But look at Ronnie Shear. Tried to get involved, and then unfortunately the kryptonite of the Sierra corner came up, and that was not ideal, as we see off the circuit. Rene Rook then. So Rene Rook was off the circuit, the number 10. And is that a, well, yeah, it is. It's a DNF there for sure. As we come through the hairpin, yeah, oh, Gerhard Fuller. Gerhard Fuller nearly gave us a baby BMW / Vectra in 9 months' time there. That was very close indeed. Oh, action averted, moves out to the left there. Then like a happy dog lifts up the rear right wheel. Everything about that was spectacular. Everything about that was also slow. Very, very good presence of mind, though. And actually, instantly, back on the power, making overtakes, which is quite funny. As we've now got two of the angriest Audis in the history. Wouldn't want to see these two have a fight, that's for sure. As we're seeing Reich make the move. So moving up the order then. Actually, Wandel got ahead. So Wandel actually got ahead there momentarily. So there must have been a bit of an issue there. As Anton Werner's now coming through, and it's a three-way battle between the Audis. This is incredible stuff. 2 generations, 3 completely different cars. As much as the number 444 is very similar to the number 99, I think we can all safely say they're completely different cars. Through the final couple of corners, and there are lots of stories here. Bruno Spengler, by the way, is closing up towards that podium, and I know there are many a fan here at Hockenheim that would love to see a potential podium for Bruno Spengler. Of course, a previous DTM champion, not only a previous racer in the DTM, a previous champion. So yeah, everyone would love to see that. Look at Anton Werner just putting the loud pedal down. As we see in the background, the Ford Sierra then of Schneider, the 321, with that beautiful Texaco livery. Well, I was going to say, is he going to save it? Well, he absolutely isn't, but how stylish is the recovery? Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, 7.5 out of 10. Love that. Hopefully there's no damage to the car, though. That's really the main factor in all of that. And as you can see, Sierra's still going. Great job. That was a really good recovery. A really good recovery. You see that Kamenzin is trying something here. Not sure how that's going to work out. Kamenzin was having a go, though, for sure. But yeah, not quite going to make that work there. You've got Horn and Rass in behind as well. Rook is unfortunately out of this race now, -2 laps down. But this is the battle at the back then. Kamenzin, Torsen, Horn and Rass. Zimmerman's moved up to P13 now as well. He's the lead driver of all of this. The one locking up, actually. So if you wanted to know which driver it was, it's the one locking up. So thank you for that, Zimmerman. I appreciate you letting everyone know which one you were. Unfortunately, loses a position because of that. So Schneider moves up the order. And now there's going to be a nice little battle between these two, no doubt. Heading then in towards the middle of Sector 2. This very deep right-hander. There's so much oil and car fluids down there because of some big incidents we had earlier on today, that it's just really tough if you get offline through there. So single file today, no overtakes, and you're good. Welcome to everybody watching on YouTube as well. Hopefully you're enjoying seeing some old cars running in our DTM Classic Cup. As we see here, there's parts of that Calibre that are falling off. That's aesthetic though, which is good. Hopefully that's nothing more than that comes off. Oh, well, there we go. It looks like someone's left the window washing rag at the front of the car. But as you can see there, some real nice engineering with a bouncy front splitter. Sparks flying everywhere. That should be good. So you take a couple of big bounces there, you're probably going to lose that. And really, the only problem you don't want to happen is that to be sent underneath the car. And well, looking at Stefan Mucker here, I'm not sure he's too worried about it. I'm sure he doesn't know, but I'm not too sure he's worried about it because he is pushing that car to the limit. And this is nice to see. This is Keke Rosberg's car from the 90s. We've never seen this car push to its limits. For the pure fact is, it's never been able to do so because it just blows up very quickly. It's a very expensive car. Oh, Kamenzin closing that door there. Almost ended up into 2 parts. And well, you've got to give a bit of respect there to Horn, because Horn could have quite easily have sliced him in half. Number 32 there of Ras looking to get involved as well. There's someone shaking their tail feather. What a vantage point that is. That is a genuine bird's eye view. Through the hairpin we go. And again, there are just overtakes and battles aplenty here. We're nearly halfway through this race. You blink and you miss it. Super exciting stuff here. As the Calibra comes down in towards that braking zone, there again is Nico Wittmann. Just up ahead then of Reich in the Audi A4 STW. The car from the era that made me fall in love with motorsport. And is there going to be a potential move down towards turn number 1? Not sure there will be. And you can see that Wandel in the background with the very angry Audi will be looking to try and go through as well. Anton Werner, by the way, who was battling with these in that orange Audi 200, is already up to P6. So absolutely flying through the pack here as we come then down towards turn number 2. Door not left open. And these three are really different cars, aren't they? Brett Abraham, if I can't get dad jokes into these broadcasts, when can I? Got to throw it out there every now and again. So the run down then towards the hairpin, and it looks like it might be a double overtake here then for Wandel. Absolutely letting that car go down towards the braking zone. You can see that Reich's trying to get involved as well. Not sure he's going to be able to there. And is that a lock-up there, or was that car having issues? No, car's on the power again. And I tell you what, the one thing you've got to just tip your hat to at this point is that the position hasn't been lost yet. It has now, actually. But yeah, Wittmann managed to hold on to that position for as long as he did. We'll be able to go very late under braking there. A lot of smoke being kicked out once again, but that's more nature of the car than it is in terms of an issue. So nothing to be too worried about, if we're honest. So Schulhorn leads the way. Mucker, second spot. Scheer is in P3. In terms of the classes that are racing here, although I'm not going to be able to explain that because right now Wittmann's trying to make a move, and he does. Around the outside, brilliant stuff. Wandel, Wittmann, all the W's, giving us some great action here. These cars are from the late 80s, early 90s. It's 2022. I'm no mathematician, but that's a lot of years, and they're putting on a hell of a show. This is brilliant stuff. In terms of the class leaders, though, in Class 1, well, very appropriately, it's Schulhorn, who we're on board with right now. Maro Engel's actual car that raced in the DTM in 2008. It's not a replica, this is the actual car leading the way. Stefan Mucker is in second spot for Class 1, and then the Class 2 leader is Ronnie Scheer. So Ronnie Scheer is around about 3/10 clear of Spengler. So Ronnie Scheer and Spengler are having a bit of a ding-dong, and I'm sure they will. They always tend to race close, those two. So, yeah, we'll be interested to see how that indeed unfolds as this race does indeed progress. Leader of the Class 6s then is Bruno Spengler, currently in 4th position. Leader of the Class 4s is the only Class 4 car, Moritz Horn. And then we've got the Class 5s that's being led by Olaf Manti. And in terms of, there's one more class here, and I'm trying to think which one it is. No, that's all of them done. Good. All good. No worries. Oh, well, I was about to say Ronnie Scheer and Bruno Spengler. We're going to have a ding-dong, but there's a mistake there from Ronnie Scheer, and he's facing the wrong way. So Ronnie Scheer now loses the podium spots all on his own. Oh, as Comenzin also does the same here. And that is the dirtiest part of the circuit down there. Again, like I said earlier, if you get offline through there, you can put yourself in a whole heap of trouble. And I can assure you, going forwards is a lot faster than going backwards. And, well, Ronnie Scheer did it exactly the same place. Bruno Spengler says thank you very much. Gets it fired up once again. Nearly stalls it, but all is good. Fires it up. Off to go down and chase down that potential podium once again. But actually, Anton Werner, Chris Nissen, Gerhard Fuller, they've all gained positions here. Ronnie Scheer is now down to P7. Down to P7. Mike 333, yes, they are actually brothers. They are actually brothers, yes. So Comenzin back going, no problem whatsoever. I don't really want to mention it, but I'm going to. Reliability in this race has been pretty good. Touch wood. I've just seen Wandel coming into the pits literally as I finished saying that. Unbelievable. So yeah, Wandel is into the pits then with the black Audi Quattro, and why do I open my mouth? And also Schneider's now been rendered DNF. He's out of this race as well. So yeah, there we go. Commentator's curse is still well and truly alive. So nice to see a couple of cars nearer the back here. So you've got Ras here in at number 32, chasing down Horn. As I mentioned earlier in qualifying, Ras, as I was coming into the circuit this morning, was just driving around, like, out in the car park, just casually checking if the car was all right. I just couldn't believe it. Just you got a Ford Mondeo, and then you saw a Ford Focus, and then there was a Yaris, and then a car from, 1988. Like, yeah, it was quite ridiculous this morning. A race car, just mixing it with everyone else. So we've got now 11 minutes 52 seconds left on our clock here for Saturday's race. Remember, we've got another race tomorrow as well. So if this may be the first time you've ever checked this out, qualifying is early tomorrow morning, and it will be on YouTube if you're watching over on YouTube. But also, we will have a race tomorrow afternoon. It will be a little bit earlier than what we've got today. We're just a little bit behind on schedule today. But yes, if you're interested in some classic cars, we get to do it all again tomorrow. I know, exceptional, exciting. Right now, the leader of this race, Schulhorn, might be looking, with 11 minutes to go, might be able to lap pretty much the whole field, apart from P2. Could be close. As we see there, the Calibra, that gap's getting wider and wider and wider. Well, I think it might, well, saying that, whatever I say, the opposite's going to happen, so I'll just say it's going to fall off now, just so that it stays on. But yeah, Stefan Mucker pushing that car as much as he possibly can. Ex-DTM driver himself as well, Stefan Mucker, son of Peter Mucker, who won the DRM Classic a couple of weeks ago. Absolute legend. In his 70s, driving like he's 22. Spraying champagne like he's 22. But we've got a nice little battle for position here. So this is 4P9. Reich trying to take a move around the outside. Whitman holding that inside line. And now onto the power we will go. And the BMW just has a little bit more poke. Through the kink down in towards, again, the dirtiest part of the circuit. Don't want to get enough line here. We've already seen two cars spinning down here. And it's just so easy to light the car up at the best of times, let alone when there's oil all down there. Where is everybody watching from around the world as well? Again, to everyone watching on YouTube, let me know where you're watching from around the world. I'm keeping an eye on the chat as well. As we see, just no room to make a move on track, so we're going to go off track to do it. Car number 85, Gerhard Fuller, has got a penalty here. Not a penalty, so he's got a black and white flag. So next one will be a penalty. As we, again, still watching this battle for what would be P9. Very close, though, between the two of them. And is there any give here? Is there the potential for an overtake? I think you'll find that Reich has got the inside line and down in towards turn number 1. And there is the job done before Stefan Mucker comes to lap them. There he is. Stefan Mucker will probably get both of them, well, quite easily, down in towards turn number 2. Beautiful stuff. So we got KP watching from Vancouver. Nice. Tallahassee there for Eduardo. Mac watching from South Africa. Pittsburgh for AS. Sydney for Henry Sewell. Well, that's all of the continents sorted. We've got Hungary. Where else? We've got Toronto in Canada. Nice. Netherlands, Finland, Jakarta, Sao Paulo, Houston, Japan. Yeah, there we go. All the continents there sorted in one fell swoop. Love to see it. Again, welcome to you all. It's an absolute privilege to be able to commentate on these cars and bring it to you all watching at home. So, as you can see here, Schulhorn has got to try and find a gap to work with here with Ronnie Shear. Ronnie Shear's car in a straight line, though, is an absolute rocket ship. As Gerhard Fuller has got, this is 4th position. So these two are battling 4th position, whereas Schulhorn is just trying to lap them. So I'm not sure he's going to get any favours here as we head then down in towards the hairpin in the final sector. Gets one of them. now looking to get on to the second one. And as we see, Gerhard Fuller then also removes himself out of the way. And the tyres on that car look so thin, such a low profile on them. They almost look like they're always punctured. They're not, but they always look like it. Ronnie Shear lost out big time to everybody there. Sure, and as soon as you hear that loud pedal go down, it just screams. Absolutely screams here. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's not what you want to see. Well, okay, we like to see flames coming out of the Sierra, but not sure we like to see explosions. Doesn't seem to have affected Ronnie Shear too much. Well, as you can see, it's not affecting him at all. Down towards turn number 5. Down towards the hairpin. Ronnie Shear still holding on to the position. And well, that was some backfire for sure. Absolutely bang. So we love some flames. And again, happens again. Just trying to get that power down. Torque in these cars. That's brilliant. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see, ladies and gentlemen. Flames. Here's the Kleber then. Stefan Mucker still in P2. And will be, again, I don't want to preempt something bad happening, but I think Stefan Mucker's just going to have a smile on his face, the fact he's been able to push this car today and have a load of fun with it. As we see almost Zimmerman becoming part of the Opel Calibra there. That was very close between the two of them. Next up is Horn to be lapped. I think that's for the second time here, in all fairness. There we go. Move up then towards the left-hander. Got to be very careful in terms of grip. The inside line is not the grippiest. Maybe on the exit at the corner, but entry, you're seeing a lot of drivers just take the high side there, just to take it out of the equation. And again, just seeing this car being just pushed is fun for me, because every week you're always just fingers crossed while you're commentating. It's always fingers crossed whilst commentating. Is the car going to survive? And well, thankfully, it looks like with 5 minutes to go, it is. See Moritz Horn then lapping some cars as well in the Alpina. Our boss, Peter Oberndorfer, raced in that car for real. His name on the side of the car's crossed out for a little bit of a ribbing, I think. A little bit of a joke amongst the paddock. But yeah, Peter Oberndorfer did race in that car for real. One of the most unique looking, one of the best looking cars of all time, in my opinion. So heading then down in towards the hairpin. Car 85 has got a 5-second time penalty here. So that's Gerhard Fuller. Not going to affect the result. If he catches up to Ronnie Shear, then it would. But right now, he's 13 seconds clear of the car in front. So, yeah, 5-second time penalty is not really going to affect his race in terms of points gained. I'll tell you what, Bruno Spengler is about to be lapped here. I'm just looking out my window. He's just got lapped. He'll be sick of the sight of that 2008 C-Class, that's for sure. As we're on board then with Zimmerman. Lovely looking BMW. And I love the turquoise and the orange livery on it. Very simple, but very effective. As we see some more action in the background as well. And at number 88. Just doing his thing. Around the final corner. This is a battle for position. So Horn, just up ahead, it's for the podium in Class 5, actually. So this is for the podium in Class 5. So buckle in. We've got some proper action coming your way here. And they've got cars that are trying to lap them as well. So this should split them here. And actually, no, it's going to slow down Horn. It's going to slow down Horn more than anything here. And can Zimmerman find himself an opportunity here to pick up a trophy at tonight's dinner? Yeah, the classics, they all have a nice dinner on a Saturday evening. And it's all much more fun for the drivers if they've got a trophy to pick up, that's for sure. Oh, there's a mistake there from Horn. Zimmerman, is he going to find a gap around the outside? Oh, sneaky Zimmerman. Brilliant stuff there. Reactions of a cat, and takes over that position momentarily. Would he be able to hold on to that spot, though? That is the big question. As, yeah, just in behind. There's another car that's going to come and lap them. That's Chris Nissen, by the looks of things. He's not going to absolutely send it down towards the hairpin here. He's got no need to do so. Zimmerman with a little bit of a lock-up there. Under a bit of pressure, for sure. Doesn't have slick tyres on that car, the Zimmerman. It's, they're kind of like hybrid tyres. So you can see then Chris... sorry, it's not Chris Nissen at all, is it? No. It's Nico Whitman. So lapping from the Class 3, lapping some Class 5 cars. Runs wide there for Zimmerman. Door's going to be left open now for Horn. And with 2 minutes left in this race, there is still some action on show. Again, just to clarify who's leading the classes. Schulhorn leads the Class 1. Anton Werner leads the Class 2 as the STW Audi goes off into the gravel, rolls back onto the circuit here. And, wow, are we able to get the power down and to get that car back going? Or is that car going to be stopped here? I'm not sure they're going to be able to move that car. That is a definite safety car for sure, unless we can get going. Well, there we go. Can get going. Very lucky. And is this a case of it gets a bit too far out wide? No, lost it before. So I thought it might be a case of it gets stuck into the gravel and drags it in there, but no. Lost the rear completely. And is that right rear loose? Didn't look like it was properly attached there. Off we will go. Again, look at this. No, maybe all is good. No, maybe all is good. But yeah, clumsy mistake there for sure. Tyres are going to be at their worst, of course, right now. And now, with all of that dust being kicked up, you've got to find your way back on track. You need a sat-nav to get there. There's parts of the car hanging off as well. There we go. Spilling gravel onto the circuit, like Dick Dastardly in Wacky Races. I'm surprised that they haven't pulled the car into the pits, to be honest. But Reich is now down into P11, so not overall in the points now, but in terms of Class 6, still on that podium, but there are only 3 cars, so yeah, it's pretty much a guaranteed podium by finishing the race. Schulhorn getting to lap yet another car. And we are now on the final lap of the race. So Schulhorn, on their debut, is going to take a victory here and pick up the top trophy. Nearly 30 seconds clear of everybody in this field. It's been great to see this car make its debut, and it's great to see the car winning as well. Olaf Manti, who we've not spoken about today. Olaf Manti, currently in P10, and will more than likely win the championship off the back of this result. Picking up a P1 here. Olaf Manti will be a champion. Something we haven't really mentioned. Flown under the radar as Olaf. Of course, we know him as a very successful driver in his own right, but also a very successful team owner, winning 2 of the last 3 years in the Nürburgring 24-hour as a team boss. So yeah, Olaf Manti now picking up a singles honour himself. As we've now got 2 laps to go, it says. So there's actually 2 laps to go on our screen. I'm not sure if that's 100% correct. So we haven't had a safety car, but we'll go by what it says on screen, shall we? As we are indeed heading up towards the final couple of corners. Around the final corner. And yeah, we've got 1 more lap to go then. Once they cross the line, it's 1 more lap. So 1 more lap to marvel at the glory, at the sounds of these beautiful machines. And it's been a perfect start today for Schulhorn. It's been a perfect weekend in all honesty. No mistakes made. Car seems like it's in good nick. It is the newest car, so you would say that it should be the most reliable, but on the flip side, it's also the most technical out of all of them. Although, I don't know, the Calibra's pretty technical. Okay, it's like having to start up a spaceship. You need a computer to start the car. Spengler in the background. There's Kamenzin, who, apart from the spin earlier on, has had a pretty good race. But Bruno Spengler is going to make 1 more lapping overtake and leaves it as late as possible there. Not sure you want to take it to chance that much. Yeah, and shout out to Schnitzer Classic for bringing the STW BMW here. So they have Bruno Spengler that gets into the car from time to time. Drove at Norris Ring, he's driven here. They got Yannick Trautwein, who has won races this season as well, most notably at Spa. So the car itself in pretty good nick. And they've actually put on social media, if you're not following Schnitzer Classic already, you should do, on Instagram. They showcased a new car this week. Hopefully we'll get to see it racing next season. That'd be wonderful. Speculation from me more than anything. I have no information. But around the final corner we will come then, and it's going to be a debut win for Schulhorn in a Mercedes DTM C-Class 2008. It's a great win for the Mercedes car. It's a great win for the team. And the champagne will taste sweet tonight. Stefan Mucker will indeed finish in second. Still a few corners to go for Stefan Mucker. Zimmerman takes the Class 5 final podium spot. Across the line, the number 88 goes. Then we've got Horn and Rass, who have both taken a checkered flag as well. Olaf Manti and Elise Schneider have yet to cross that line. Stefan Mucker is about to come across the line as well and take that checkered flag and take P2. Bruno Spengler does get on the podium. It is a podium then for Spengler. And well, there is Ronnie Shear, and he has not taken the checkered flag, so we'll lose maybe a couple of positions at the end of this race. Comenzin then takes the checkered flag, P16, then overall. Reich's taken it now as well in the Audi A4 SGW, P9 in this race then. We've got Chris Nissen who takes the P4 overall as well. Respect to Nissen. Gerhard Fuller, who does have a 5-second penalty, is not going to matter. It will be a P5 then for Fuller. Moritz Horn will take P6. We'll see the Alpina coming around the final corner right now. And we'll indeed pick up what will be P6. And then we've got Whitman, who will be the last car to take the checkered flag, actually alongside Schneider. Whitman's behind Schneider, but Schneider is behind him in the race, which is pretty normal. So anyway, across the line then for Schneider and Whitman as Ronnie Shear stares into the abyss. And he's got a long walk to the pits. That is probably, apart from the hairpin, that is nearly the furthest possible point from the pits. And actually, even the hairpin might be closer. That might be the furthest possible area from the pits there for Ronnie Shear. So to add insult to injury, he's miles away. But here is your race winner then. Mercedes DTM C-Class 2008. It is indeed Schulhorn who takes victory. Very impressive display indeed. To see the checkered flag come down. Hopefully one day I get to do that job. That'd be great. And a very good performance. And remember, if you enjoyed this today, we get to do it all again tomorrow as well. So that's pretty exciting. So many people still sticking around to watch the remaining racing action. Most of the DTM pillars indeed being represented at this event at Hockenheim. Here is your official race results then. Schulhorn P1, Stefan Mucker P2, Spengler and Nissen are P3 and P4, Fuller and Horn are 5th and 6th. We've got Whitman and Shear as 7th and 8th. Reich and Schumann are your top 10. Schneider then and Werner are 11th and 12th position. Zimmerman and Horn, who gave us a lovely show for that final podium spot in the Class 5s, are 13th and 14th position. Then we've got Rass and Comenzin rounding out your classified drivers. So here you go. The drivers now are going to have their podium ceremony. Champagne's going to spray absolutely everywhere. And I will leave you with the shots of this.
Stefan. Stellvertretend auf dem Podium jetzt für das siegreiche Team Race Art. Grüße ich ganz herzlich Ludwig Zechenweiler. Gratulation. Natürlich gibt es auch für das siegreiche Team eine Trophäe. Gratulation. Herzlichen Glückwunsch!
War jetzt die kurze Kurzversion, aber trotzdem bitte einmal zusammenstehen
Für unser Siegerbild hier auf dem Hockenheimring Rennen Samstag. Morgen gibt es ja auch noch eins mit den DTM Classics. Absolutes Highlight immer am Tag für mich und ich denke auch für viele da draußen von euch auf den Tribünen. Die alten Autos im Museum haben denen nichts verloren. Die müssen auf die Rennstrecke. Und da sind wir froh, dass wir sie zurück haben. Die alten Fahrzeuge mit den nicht ganz so alten Fahrern. Zum Glück und damit, Jungs, ihr habt euch die Champagnerdusche verdient. Podium und auf der Strecke geht es jetzt noch weiter. Einen haben wir noch für euch und zwar den Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Dabei viel Spaß. Ich melde mich gleich nochmal vom Grid, während hier die DTM-Autos aus dem Park für mich.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't got your DTM Classic fix for the weekend yet, we've got it all again to do tomorrow. So make sure you tune in on YouTube or wherever you're watching from around the world. And well, it should prove to be another spectacular occasion.